why is the character of Sherlock still fascinating nowadays? It seems like a simple question, doesn't it? Actually, multiple ones are hidden in it. Who was he originally? How has he changed since then? How have they adapted the character recently? For example, in the modern series Sherlock. Why is that? Why are we following the story since 1900? What are the fascinating features about him? And with this short introduction, I want to welcome you to our big Sherlock TV special. And of course, I want to welcome our guests. Yo, man, G-Easy here, bro. With bling bling, swag swag, you know what I mean, yeah. Check out those rings, bro. First, we want to solve the question who Sherlock Holmes was originally. Sherlock Holmes is a fictional private detective created by the British author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Known as a consulting detective in the stories, Holmes is known for his proficiency with observation, forensic science, and logical reasoning that borders on fantastic. He used such skills when investigating cases for a wide variety of clients, including Scotland Yard. Huh? Wait, what? Sherlock's waiting for the cops, man? Didn't think that of my homie, bro. Man, such a betrayer. Yeah. Well, seeing it from the time perspective, his first appearing was in a print in 1887. The novel was called A Study in Scarlet. The character's popularity became widespread with the first series of short stories. In consequence, additional tales appeared from then until 1927, eventually totaling 4 novels and 56 short stories. The majority of them is set between 1880 and 1940. But who's telling us those great stories? Most are narrated by the character of Holmes' friend and biographer, Dr. Watson, who usually accompanies him and often shares quarters with him at the address of 221B Baker Street, London, where many stories begin. Luckily, we have a foreign correspondent in London right now, and he's interviewing Sherlock enthusiasts live in 221B Baker Street, and we tune in. Do you know any reasons, like how he's connected to the city of London, or how any things where you realize, well, Sherlock Holmes
nowadays,
is nowadays or anywhere else?
Yeah, well, actually, to this house, there was a Mr. Holmes related to the maids in the house, and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle used to live like 10-minute walk from here, so he based the stories in like a few different people that he connected into like what we know nowadays as Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
But as I said earlier, I think it's like a really good representation of an actual person from the 19th century.
So the connection of Arthur Conan Doyle to the city also expresses the connection of Sherlock Holmes to the city.
In that time.
Yeah. What do you think? How is he connected to the city of London nowadays, but also back then?
Oh, he's inseparable from it. He is London, especially our idea of London in the 19th century. He's a gentleman about town. He enjoys the opera. He enjoys reading. He tells us a great deal about London culture, and I think he's a lot of people's way into understanding what London's like.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we got a general overview, but where does the character come from and how was he like back then? Edgar Allan Poe's fictional detective served as the prototype for many of them that were created later, including Holmes. Conan Doyle once wrote, "Each of Poe's detective stories is a root from which a whole literature has developed." Where was the detective story until Poe breathed the breath of life into it? Furthermore, Mr. Doyle repeatedly said that Holmes was inspired by the real-life figure of Joseph Bell, a surgeon in Edinburgh. Aha! But now tell us, how can we imagine the historic Sherlock Holmes? I know that his character stuck out because of his intellectuality, quite like I do. Additionally, his accurate and efficient way of working was unique. That's why he was often described as a machine. Nevertheless, he has been real human back then, showing emotions like sympathy, hate, humor, and compassion. Dude! Old Sherlock's a normal guy. He sucks balls. Where's the freakiness? Where's the evil enemy with the bombs? Man, hate that guy. I don't like him either. What kind of intellectual shows emotions? Well, isn't it great then that it was adapted multiple times, most recently in the BBC series Sherlock? Let's have a look at one clip out of the series.
Who are you? What do you do?
What do you think?
I say private detective.
When the police are out of their depth, they
Yeah, that's what I'm rocking with. Now, let's chill.
to the city.
You all know what I'm talking about.
Because you're an idiot.
This is my friend, John Watson.
Friend.
Colleague. That's how you get your kicks, isn't it? You risk your life to prove you're clever.
Shut up.
I'm saying
You were thinking. It's annoying.
you like the funny cases, don't you? The surprising ones.
Yeah,
The game, Mrs.
I
Hudson,
like
is
it.
on.
Time to
I read some extraordinary
Sherlock Holmes and the address is
for this
21
fine
Baker
piece of
Street.
art.
Sherlock.
Specialist, please describe what changed and what didn't to our lovely viewers. Sure, I loved you. First of all, he is still a detective in London, as he works for several clients like Scotland Yard. Even his iconic hat and the code resisted time. Talking about the characters, the directors stayed with Detective Inspector Lestrade, Landlord Mrs. Hudson, Sherlock's brother Mycroft Holmes, and John's girlfriend and later wife Mary Morrison. In addition to that, another important person is the infamous Jim Moriarty, the antagonist of Holmes. But also, the plot is partially based on the original stories by Conan Doyle. For example, A Study in Pink relies on A Study in Scarlet, The Hound of the Baskervilles on the novel of the same title. Oh! That shit creepy as hell! Take that away, man! Obviously, a lot of things stayed the same. but small details were changed to adjust the rustic character to the modern, fast-paced world of London. Therefore, we want to hear from our correspondent again.
Do you know, what did you say are the main differences between the modern series and the old books?
I mean, I guess I would say mainly it's about the resources that he has to solve things with and the ways to communicate. Everything can happen a lot faster in the modern one because of technology and how advanced we are now. You'll notice he uses a cell phone a lot. That never would have happened, so communication would have taken twice as long. It would have taken twice as long to... The crimes, I think, just would have taken a much longer time to solve than what you see. It's very quick in the new series. It's very fast-paced.
Well, she's completely right. In this fast-paced environment, a less emotional, sociopathic Sherlock Holmes emerged, more interested in the mysteries than the people behind those cases. He's not outgoing, and at first he doesn't even admit to have friends. A freak. Yeah. Apparently, the directors changed the personality of their protagonist in order to keep him as an interesting character. But what are the reasons for those adjustments, and why is he still so interesting? Sherlock is a rational and distant genius, even more in the recent series. Certainly, that's based on an entertainment standpoint, as Holmes' uniqueness makes him more interesting. That's why Sherlock became more successful than traditional crime thrillers. This phenomenon is widespread in the film industry. For instance, Monk and Sheldon are beloved characters too.
Pun intended.
Ha! Sheldon! Where's Patty at?
You're being too literal.
Well,
My point is,
that's a fine
you're not
gentleman.
gonna surrender to the rules, and neither should you.
On the one hand side, it's the atmosphere of a brilliant mind that has been interesting people for over 100 years. On the other hand side, there is his historic charm, which introduces you into the English society.
I think he's utterly timeless. I think that the challenges he faces, the mysteries he solves, they could be in any period of time. And again, I think if anyone's interested in London, English culture, or indeed understanding the past, then he's a great way into those subjects.
To put it in a nutshell, Sherlock Holmes is a pretty clever guy. Nowadays, people are drawn in by the perfect mixture of his original character and his modern, sociopathic but entertaining side. And with these words, I want to end our TV special, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hope we see us again one day.